Understand you soon, it won't be long.
Keep on, keep running. Running and running.
Okay, so the homework that was set for year 9s for Thursday, for last week. Okay, we're just going to go through and calculate it on the sheet if you want to check through your answers. So x squared, these values squared will always be the same. It is just your squared numbers, so they will always follow the same order: 0, 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, and then going backwards you can never have a negative square number, so they're always going to be positive. Okay, the minus 4 is my constant, so I'm going to put minus 4 on each of these values going along. It doesn't relate to the x term, so it's not going to change. Okay, so if I'm now going to calculate each line, 25 take away 4 gives me 21, 16 take away 4 gives me 12, 9 take away 4 gives me 5, 0, negative 3, negative 4, 1 take away 4 gives me negative 3, and hopefully you can see we've got a turning point just there. We're coming back up again, so these should be 0, 5 and 12. We will just check them. 4 take away 4 gives me 0, 9 take away 4 gives me 5, and 16 take away 4 gives me 12. Okay, so plot the graph of y equals x squared minus 4 for the values of negative 5 to 5. The scale on the y-axis must go between the biggest number in the table and the lowest. Well, my lowest one is negative 4 at the turning point, and my biggest one is 21. Okay, so to be able to plot that, we would draw a set of axes that's going to go from, on my y-axis, from 21, so it has to start up here at 21 at the top. Okay, and I know it's got to go down to negative 3. Now, depending on what size you've got, if we go 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That's where my x-axis will be drawn at y equals 0. Drawing my y-axis, and remember I've got to go down to negative 3. So negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 1, sorry, positive 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and 21 at the top. Okay. So now I've got my y-axis filled in. I'm going to look to my x, and remember it tells me in the question for x values from minus 5 to 5. So I only need to come minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, minus 5. That's the only value I'm going to be plotting. So I don't need to go any further each way. And now I'm looking at my coordinates, and remember this is my x coordinate. Okay, this is my y coordinate, so if you think that as a coordinate, if I turn my paper that way, okay, I've got negative 5, 21, negative 4, 12, negative 3, 5, and I can plot those points. So negative 5, 21, where do those two intersect? So all the way up to 21 and plot my point. Next one, negative 4 is 12. Negative 4, 12. So where then to intersect? Negative 3 is going to be 5. Negative 2 is going to be 0. Negative 1 is going to be minus 3. So down here. Negative, 0 is going to be negative 4, so we need to go down one more, just there. 1 is negative 3, 2 is going to be 0, 3 is going to be 5, 4 is going to be 12, and 5 is going to be 21. And hopefully you can see one of the hardest things is to try and get it to curve round and have a nice smooth curved line. Okay, when it gets to the bottom, don't stop at a V shape, and certainly if you've got 2 points in the middle, don't stop and put a flat base on your curve. It has to be curved, just as it comes down here through the turning point. That bit there, really important that you've got a curve on it. Okay, so that's my graph drawn of the first one. The next one, use the graph to find the value of y when x is minus 3.5. So I'm going to come to minus 3.5, which is somewhere here. Okay, now using the graph means I'm going to draw a straight line up at minus 3.5. Okay, and then where that touches the line, I'm going to bring it across to my y-axis. So at that point, y equals 7. Okay, so CI is going to be 7. Okay, CII, that's when find the value of y when x equals 4.6. So 4.5 is halfway, so just over halfway. And again, draw your straight line up. And part of your working is to do this dotted line up to your point. And we can see we can come across and see that at that point y equals 17. Okay, and the last one, when x equals negative 4.2. And again, negative 4.2, there's negative 4. Negative 4.2 is going to take me up there. And at negative 4.2, we could say y is going to equal 13. If I'm now looking at question D, use the graph to find the value of x when y is 4, minus 2 and 20. Okay, so D, when x is 4, when y is 4, sorry, what's the value of x? So when y is 4, bring it across to there. Okay, and remember it's going to have to, on this one, it's going to go both ways. Okay, so if I bring this down here, where does that drop down to? Okay, and we can say that's going to be plus and minus 2.75. Okay, so we can see 2.5 would be here, so 2.75 or 2.8. You would get a little bit of leeway in relation to that, so wherever you think that falls, is it 2.75, is it 2.8? Okay, D2, 2i, is when, what is the value of x when y equals negative 2? So coming down to negative 2 again down here. Remember it's symmetrical, so these values will be the same, and I think you'd be able to say that these values there would be plus and minus 1.5, 1.5. Okay, and then the final one, when when y equals 20. So again, coming across here. Now a lot of this will depend on how well you've drawn your graph. Okay, if I look at the two values I've got here at the top, this one crosses exactly on one of the lines. Okay, this one doesn't. Now thinking about this, when we calculated it, when we calculated 5 would be 21, so it's not going to be 20. So remember, if I've curved that out too much, alright, which I probably have, maybe it's not going to be out as far as that particular is drawn. So let's look at this one here. Let's bring this one down, okay, and bringing this one down to the bottom line. Okay, and at that point there, we could say again plus and minus 4 let's say 4.9. Okay, and again you can see that. So take care when drawing your graph, okay, and be realistic with the answers that you're looking to give. We know this point here is 521 and negative 521. We know this point here is 412 and negative 412. So this point here would probably be something around 4.920 and negative 4.920. What I will do is I will complete the answers on the sheet and attach it to the lesson board. Hope that was of use. See you next time.